Welcome back to Animal Crossing New Horizons. I'm Dear Darling. I shall see what's going on our lovely island of Fawnhallow today, where I hope my volume is probably okay. So I just headbutted my microphone there, because I'm not putting my headphones on, because I've got a big old towel on my head and a lot of wet hair. So yeah, well, hopefully this is at least okay and volume wise. What are we going to talk about? I don't know. I'm not going to talk about this, I think, for the whole episode, because I don't think it's, not appropriate necessarily, but, it's, so recent. What the heck, my Elgato isn't working. Not my Elgato, my Stream Deck isn't working. Why does everything break? But good evening, everyone. Right now in Fawnhallow, it's 8:59 p.m. on Tuesday, April 9th, 2024. It's probably because I just reinstalled it. The latest update of OBS. Is the Discord one fixed yet? Nope, Discord one's not fixed either. Stream Deck, you are, unfortunately, at this moment, not proving too useful to me right now because of the fact that your shortcuts don't work. So, why don't we fix this at the same time? What I was going to say was, but annoyingly, I had to wait, maybe I can... No, I don't know. Normally it works fine, even if I update OBS. So that's why normally I'm a little bit hesitant to do so. Because these buttons often end up breaking, which is kind of annoying. So I guess that maybe at some point I should just replace it with a key binding or something. But alas, so this will have to be something I figure out afterwards. Does this scroll up mute still work? No, I probably only need Discord. I don't even have Discord open right now. I should probably adjust it so it actually mutes this as well. Actually, I thought I did. Now I think about it. Hold on. How do I... Settings, key bindings. Right? Hotkeys. Mute. You know what? Never mind. I'll just have to manually mute myself, I suppose, if I have to cough or sneeze or anything. No, I was going to talk about Dropout, Game Changer. Anyone watching Season 6, Series 6, I will say. But the latest episode, it's called Bingo, if you're watching this in the future, is probably my favourite episode of the series. It's so... Okay, well, I'm not going to overhype it, but I like it a lot, I suppose. But anyway, I'm not going to spoil why I like it necessarily. You can just go watch it if you have it. If you don't have it, then you can go maybe check out Dropout. Not sponsored or anything, by the way, but I like her shows. Anyway, what was I going to talk about? No, what I was going to talk about, yes, this is actually something legitimate, is that I've heard that the 3DS servers have now gone down for Nintendo no longer supporting it, which, it happens eventually. All these online spaces are eventually going down and go down, because it was a while back that the Wii Store stuff went down, Nintendo DS online services went down as well, something like that, and now the 3DS ones have gone down as well, which I only really found out about because so many people in my Animal Crossing subreddit were posting goodbye, thanks over memories or something, and I was like, what happened? And it turns out that's because you can't connect online anymore using New Leaf because the servers were shut down. I'll be honest, I didn't even realise the servers were still open, not saying that they shouldn't have been open. I mean, certainly it's very much a big deficit, I think, of this game's service model, is that eventually, as all things are with a service, if a service stops or goes under, then, you'll not have it anymore. You won't have access to the thing that you might have wanted access to. It's actually a big thing with Steam as well right now. And I mean, I don't see Steam going under in the foreseeable future, but if they do, something's gone horribly wrong, I would say. But it's... basically that technically if Steam just goes down, you're just gonna lose all your games because you technically have not bought them. You've only bought them licensed on Steam or something. I forget the actual technical details about it, which is wow. I mean, I guess. But yeah, I mean, 3DS servers shutting down New Leaf. New Leaf was I think almost every Animal Crossing I've... I'm just trying to think what Animal Crossing is the one I spent the least in. Now I think about it. I was going to say, is it New Leaf? It's not New Leaf. Now I think about it, because it's definitely the GameCube one. Because I didn't really grow up with a GameCube. I didn't have a GameCube growing up. Number of playtime hours in Animal Crossing. Number one is almost certainly New Horizons now, seeing as I played it for 4 years or so continuously. Number two, is it Let's Go to the City or Wild World? That's a good question. I have a feeling it's Let's Go to the City, but I'm not certain of that. So obviously, don't quote me on it. I don't know why you would quote me on it. It seems like a strange thing to quote me on. And then it's Wild World, and then it's No, is it New Leaf then Wild World, or is it Wild World with New Leaf? That's a good question. I don't really know. Because I think I've probably spent more hours on New Leaf than I expect, but not actually genuinely all that much. Like, I spent enough to pay off all my debt, I think, in New Leaf. I don't think I completed a museum. I actually think New Horizons is the first game I completed a museum in. That might not be true. Maybe I did complete it in New Leaf, or maybe I got very close. I genuinely can't remember. And that's usually because when I play Animal Crossing, I kind of play it like religiously for like the first 3 months, and then like I start playing it sort of like haphazardly, and then eventually just like it sort of just I play it randomly, and it never quite syncs up to catch all the fish and the bugs I need. Apart from here in New Horizons where I've actually done that, but you know, I mean, to be fair, I was going to say 4 years would do that for you, but to be fair, I did it within like the first year, right? Like, what was it, the fastest, no, hold on, because the art piece, okay, if we ignore the art exhibit, which just takes impossibly long if you're playing by yourself, I did it within the first year, right? Like, it was like one of the first few days of December was like the last thing I had to catch, right? It was the scarab beetle, I think. Or the dung beetle. I remember the game coming out as well in late March, and having to spend a long time like catching, like trying to catch, I can't remember what fish it was, in the like upper cliffs of a river, because it would be going away at the end of March, and I didn't want to wait till January to try and catch it again. So yeah, I don't really remember what else I was going to say. I wonder what the fastest you can do. Like, imagine Animal Crossing speedrun, but it's real time. You can't time travel. No time travel speedrun. Museum completion. What's the fastest you could do it? Okay, ignoring the art exhibit, because the art exhibit is actually insane. Actually, maybe not. Maybe if you're allowed to connect to other people's like worlds and that sort of thing. But they're also not allowed to time travel. So you would just have to get like a load of people lined up who was like, who's got Crazy Red for today? So I guess you could probably do that in one day. So really, it was just time gated. Basically, I was just like, I'm just trying to think, if you're time gated by fish and bugs, what's the fastest you can do it? Like, what day would you have to start on, and what day would you have to end on, to sort of maximize catching everything? There's also a thought as well, but you can connect to someone who lives in the southern hemisphere, right? And they have like the fish and bugs inverted, I think, to what we have, but at the same time. So I don't know. Has someone tried to work it out? Maybe. I'm not going to bother doing that. Probably not the most thrilling speedrun category either. But yeah, like, it's sounds like New Leaf ones are shutting down. But to be honest, I don't think I even played New Leaf online all that much, like, ever, or something. Like, I played the online for Wild World and Let's Go to City because, like, certainly my primary school friends, and I had some online friends at the time, who I played Animal Crossing with, but not the others, you know, those are... New Leaf I very much certainly didn't, that I can think of. I mean, did I? I don't even know if I even played online. I don't even know if I had known anyone who had New Leaf. Sorry, but a little bit of a pause there. But what was I talking about? I was talking about not New Horizons, New Leaf. In fact, it's not like ending. I suppose that's probably the wrong terminology to use. It's not like it's over. That's it, it's over now. It's more like just the online portion is over. But I mean, that's kind of like the only way I suppose any of these single player games would end theoretically. Is a multiplayer section like going, right? It reminds me of I don't remember which Halo game it necessarily was. It was one of the Halo games where it was like the servers are being shut down, and there was like a timeline of the last 20 people who were online or something. They were like all in one server together. They were having a good time, and then it's just like someone made like an infographic of when each person like disconnected. Like some people just like disconnected manually, and some people just like the power went out or something like that. I don't remember. Like maybe I can find it again. Hold on. Halo timeline servers shutting down. I feel like I've talked about things shutting down quite a lot recently. It was like a really cool image. Oh, this is it. The Noble 14, the last days of Halo 2. I think that's what it. Expo 360 Halo servers will be shut down in 3 more days, so I'd like to remind everyone of the Noble 14, the last 14 players on Xbox Live 1. Microsoft ends support on April 16, 2010. Then someone dropped Deten, CFA Sword, Sherlock 1, H.O. Shogi, exited to play Halo Reach. Internet drop, I remember last, there was a load of people here. Power outage, internet drop, booted. Just like, I don't know, sweet, isn't it? Like a final farewell. Despite the fact that they ended support for it, I don't know how, I suppose, the servers continued. I would have thought if they ended support of it, they would actually just like immediately take the servers offline. Nice branch, okay. But I guess that's probably not how it works. I don't necessarily know how it would work behind the scenes, at least for Halo. But yeah, pretty cool, huh? I wonder if anyone did that for from New Leaf, just like tried to stay on for as long as possible in someone else's town until they got kicked off. I'd imagine they probably just like ended it immediately, but as soon as it happened, right? Like servers went down, boom, gone. I'm just trying to think. I don't think I even did I ever play the online version on New Leaf? Like, did I have anyone to play with? I don't mean around like in a sad sense, but like I was like really late to the party for New Leaf, and not many of my friends really played much Animal Crossing. At least at that time. I remember I got it on Halloween, I think. Is all I remember. Like 2 or 3 years. I think I actually... Now I think about it, I don't think I actually played all that much New Leaf. Like, even less than maybe I think I predicted I might have. Because what I remember now is like, there was a tree in New Leaf which basically grew every time you accomplished like certain objectives or something. I remember mine didn't even end up growing all that much because I didn't do a lot of things that, not like a lot of things that you're meant to do, but I just like didn't get around to doing them from what I recall. You might be like, is your New Leaf town called Fawnhallow? It's not called Fawnhallow. It's called Treetop, if I recall. Like all my previous ones were called Treetop, but now, you know, Fawnhallow I suppose is the one going forward. A new game, new me. Until the next one comes along, which I think the Switch is kind of like the Wii, where they probably won't have an upgrade for ages. I think they probably learned from Wii and Wii U that's like, okay, you know, if we're going to do a second console to follow on from the Switch, you know, either make it the same, so same but better, so you cash in on the people who want an upgrade for the Switch, or you make it like completely different and give it a different name. And no, you can't call it like new Nintendo Switch or something like that. If you don't know what I'm talking about, it's basically because but Wii and Wii U, a lot of people didn't end up buying the Wii U because they thought the Wii U was just like an add-on for the Wii or something, which is why, despite Wii being like one of the best-selling consoles, and like at the time it might have been even the best-selling console. I don't know if PS2 was above it or not, but it was ubiquitous. But like the Wii U was an absolute flop. You might be like, did you have Wii U? I did have Wii U. And the new thing is that because there was Nintendo 3DS, which was out for a while, and then they released like a new upgraded one, which had like better specs or something. And you know what they called it? They called it a new Nintendo 3DS, which is maybe one of the most confusing things you could possibly even try to call it, but Nintendo do as they do. Anyway, there's probably not going to be another Animal Crossing until the next console, is my guess. And you might be like, oh, are you going to be worried when the New Horizons servers go down? I guess not, because I've kind of been playing single player New Horizons for like the past 3 years or something. I don't mean that in a disparaging way or anything like that. It's just like, it's not much need for me to go online right now. But there's not been very often. I can't think of a time where I've been like, hey, you know what, I want to like hang out, play some games with my friends. You know what I'm going to do? We're going to do New Horizons online, because that's basically the same as just sort of like sitting in a disc. Well, not literally the same, but it's not really much better than, well, I don't know if that's necessarily true. I guess it's just because we have a lot of games to play. I was actually having a conversation with a friend about it pretty recently, so we'll see what comes of that. No, what was I going to say? I don't remember what I was going to say. It's just, yeah, like the New Leaf server's getting shut down. I'm trying to think of like what good memories have I had of New Leaf, where it's like, oh, this comes to mind of when I did this or when I did that. I don't even remember who I have in New Leaf. I think Chevra I have in New Leaf, and she was one of my favourite villagers. Was Becky in New Leaf, or was Becky in Wild Wild? I think she was in New Leaf one as well. I think those two are my favourites. I feel like Eugene was there. I genuinely can't remember anyone else. Which I don't know if it's a good or bad thing necessarily to say. It has been a very long time since I suppose I played New Leaf. I mean, if I had my 3DS, maybe I could like boot it up and look, but I mean, I do have it somewhere, but that seems like a lot of effort. I also feel like the one I'm most curious about is Wild World, because Wild World, I actually have Lily as an Animal Crossing villager, and she's the villager who's been in my Animal Crossing Wild World town by far the longest, and I wonder if she's moved out by now or not. Because I remember one time basically hadn't played the game for like 3 years or something. I logged into Wild World just randomly at one point, and I saw Lily was in boxes, and she was like, "Oh, I'm going to move away," and I was like, "No, you stay here." Now I suppose she's in New Horizons, and I actually speak to her mostly, so I guess she's living a better life off here anyway, so. Yeah, I don't know what else to say. Can I really remember? Chevre, Becky, Eugene. My heart says Peanut was here, but I'm not sure. Is my 3DS in this drawer, like beneath me? I mean, if there's any, I suppose, time to open up New Leaf and see what's going on, it's then. But again, it's going to take me like multiple minutes, I suppose, to even launch it. So I don't know. It's just cool to see that people like had all these nice memories with New Leaf. Sorry, I was just sitting up because I was like, I'm slouching horribly. Had all these nice memories in New Leaf, and now they're like, oh, you know, let's send them off. You know, it was a nice little connector. That's the thing with Animal Crossing. It's a nice way to connect with people, I think, online by inherently its design is all kind of like about that socialization and like sharing of worlds and that sort of thing. Just checking with the volume. Yeah, volume sounds fine. So yeah, I don't know. I honestly had no idea. I did know that 3DS servers were shutting down, but for some reason in my head it only clocked as a 3DS like shop was shutting down, like the 3DS Nintendo 3DS store was shutting down, and I was like, oh, you know, I guess that makes sense. It probably wouldn't stay open forever. I mean, as much as I love it to, but I suppose that's just kind of reality of the world we live in as a moment, is that these services are not forever. Many things are temporary. I forgot what I was going to say about this. So yeah, I don't know. And I suppose if you manage to say your last farewells to Nintendo Animal Crossing New Leaf online mode before it got shut down forever, I hope you had a nice time with it. I hope you like made fond memories of it, and you were just like, this is lovely. Sorry, conversation sparse today. Like, well, conversational gears not turning. But if you have been watching, I'm going to round this episode off here anyway. So if you have been watching, thank you very much. It's been Animal Crossing New Horizons. I've been Dear Darling. Likes, comments, subscription, shares, greatly appreciated. Socials, Discord down below. Hope to see you again. But for now, it's our farewell. So until next time, bye bye for now.